paper review for today, and we have here, we get 4 papers that we'll talk about.
Yes.
I will go read from, which is the Vanguard, the Pointer,
what the Nation, and the Punch.
Okay, very quickly, let's look at what the Vanguard is saying. Credit to government rises further by 3.5% to 32.3 trillion naira. Oh, wow.
Plenty money.
The funny thing in all of this is that every day now what will they see with this?
Either it is trillion or billions, we just hear very huge amounts of money.
Yes, that's what we will see. So, okay, let's go further. Still on Vanguard, we have Emefiele. Federal government showing signs of disobeying court orders. George. And in the rider, we have court strikes out firearms possession charge. You get that on page 3 of the Vanguard. And also subsidy removal. No instant solutions to Nigeria's problems.
That's a heartbreaking statement.
Honestly, from Mr. President. Not the is this or not anything at all?
But it's the very blunt and honest truth.
Yes, that's it. But you know, Nigerians, we really like all this kind of truth.
No, we did not expect to be plunged so deep in it.
Honestly. Yeah, 2,300, you get that, of course, in page 3 of today's Vanguard. 2,300 soldiers will be deployed for Imo Guba Pool, REC. That is the Resident Electoral Commissioner.
Yes.
You get that on page 6. Another story here on Vanguard today is UNICAD suspends professor accused of sexual assault, bars him from campus. Well, that's so those things still happen in campuses.
It seems so.
You get that on page 6. And one of the big stories here is we will invade Niger. We will invade Niger if diplomacy fails. That is ECOWAS. Speaking, and in the rider you have, they also say it's past deployments in Sierra Leone, Liberia, others, example of readiness. Germany backs EU, sanctions against military junta. WFP calls for free flow of aid amid ongoing crisis. And 3 officers, 22 soldiers killed in Niger's ambush. Crash. Defense headquarters. You see that in page 7. And of course, we have one of the pictures here where you have the big man himself, Edwin Clark Kiagbodo.
What does the caption say?
Yeah, the caption says, we have some heavyweights that were there yesterday. It was done yesterday, the book launch, Edwin Clark's book launch, which was titled,
that's a great man,
yes,
in the Niger Delta.
Yes. And those presents, I mean, in the picture here, you see the Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. Former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was also there. Former Head of State General Yakubu Gowon. Author of the book, Brutally Frank. That is the title of the book. Chief Edwin Clark was also there. And wife of late former Head of State, Ajia Mariam Abasha, during the official presentation of Chief Edwin Clark's autobiography, which of course is titled Brutally Frank in Abuja yesterday. Story on page 3. Again, subsidy removal. Federal government shocked over high food transportation costs. You know, I always say this, I tell people that whatever happens to fuel, it has a multiplying effect, negative effect.
So the entire...
It's just Nigeria is notorious for something. You know, whatever goes up, it's very difficult to come down.
That's true.
And that's what's actually happening right now. So the rider in it, you have federal government approves 5 billion. 5 trucks of rice to each state, mandates NEMA to distribute food items to states sharing borders with Niger. Says refugees from Niger Republic flood Nigeria. Only 2 billion released yet, says Governor Sani. And of course, we have other stories. You can as well get the Vanguard for that. But very quickly, let's look at the big story at the back page of Vanguard today. The big story is Amusa cleared to compete. And you also have UEFA snubs Vinicius for Messi. And also you have Man City, Arsenal players dominate PFA players, Player of the Year nominee. So on and so forth. And also have World Cup exploits. Federal government showers Super Falcons with dollars. A lot of stories. That and many more you can get when you get today's Vanguard.
After that story, we have that's the headquarters. 3 officers, 33 soldiers died in Niger ambush. Nigerian Air Force jet crash. This is a sad one for the military. For more information, go to page 5 of the Nation newspaper. We have another story by the side. Army to deploy 2,300 for Imo pool.
I think that's the same story in Vanguard.
Yeah. Court set to hear LP against Elumelu. That story is on page 25. Under the masthead, we have other beautiful stories. We have how a man, 84, hacked 75 years old wife to death for denying him sex.
Honestly,
this is controversial.
Honestly, I don't know what to say.
It seems like we need like a psychiatric center available for people to have some mental
I'm telling you honestly. Yeah.
Well, after that we have some pictures showing Emefiele in court. The captions says suspended Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele making a phone call inside the Federal High Court Abuja yesterday. This photo is by Aboyemi Fayeshe.
Okay.
The main story for the day. States are washed with 180 billion naira subsidy pain relief cash. Big money.
I can tell you.
The rider that follows that story. Federal government's 5 billion naira per state fund to immediately use to cushion high food fertilizer prices. Dictating how the states will use this money. NEC OK's transfer of World Bank $800 million to the poor. Talks with Labour go on. And after that, we have the last story on the front page. Danguje leads Uzodima Okorocha to Aso Rock. It seems like these guys are becoming friends.
Yeah.
There may be peace with before the election.
You know, it is important that reconciliation actually should take place.
For you to get more details, go to page 6 of the newspaper. We have other beautiful stories behind the Nation today.
Yeah.
So many columnists writing beautiful stories. Critical joints in Niger Junta crisis. Hardball. Helpful silence. These are lovely stories you could read on. Check the Nation and you may enjoy the stories.
And of course, we are in our own newspaper, which is the Pointer Delta State paper, which is the Pointer newspaper, where you have at the top of it, you have Oborigweri tips Mandela's values to cure Africa's leadership deficiencies. And also you have fuel subsidy. Federal government provides 5 billion palliatives. You get that You get that story, you get the first story on page 3, and again you have all 36 military personnel were killed. Crash. GHQ, which is the defense headquarters. The rider is, they also reveals how soldiers killed 28 terrorists, apprehend 113. And also inside the pointer today, you will also get the story on page 3. We are ready to invade Niger. On spot inside, you also get WAFFI. Coup stops as Garde Nationale as Delta Queens battle USFA Abidjan. And on the editorial part, you have Mrs. Oborivori introduces a pets project. That you will get that story on page 6 of today's pointer. And on the back page of it, of course, you have a lot of stories also there. Quickly get the pointer for today and you get more stories on pointer newspaper for today.
We'll take the last paper. I'll take it, the Punch.
Yeah.
The first story there, banditry. North Central, Northwest plunge into 902 billion naira debt. Poor revenue persists. The rider to this story. Low IGR linked to insecurity. 60% of affected states lacks FDIs. That's something. For more details, go to page 12 of the Punch. Federal government begins ministers designate documentation Saturday. If you want to know what that is, go to page 20.
The swearing in is going to be coming up on Monday.
Yes.
So those documentations are actually necessary for them to put together
before the swearing.
Before the swearing. Yeah. So it's going to be starting. Invitees are expected to be seated by 9.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm sure that's why all of that is happening.
As we join the Punch to celebrate its 50th, we have their major story. Labour faults 180 billion naira palliatives, says government will frustrate program. This is on page 2. The rider to this headline states to get 180 trucks of rice. NLC, TUC worry politicians will hoard material. It's something to worry about, but something ought to be done. The people are hungry.
You can't take them. They are the representative. Those in government are actually the representative of the people. So no matter what you see or you hear, you come on. Now they go still carry on, and then they still come to the people, to the grassroots. So that's how it is.
The next rider, NEC committee to meet Labour over subsidy relief. Tinubu appeals to Nigerians. He reached to talk, but they go shake body. As they see things where they give the legislators and all the rest. It's not a nice thing when people are hungry.
Yeah, that's true. And that will be all we can take for today. So my name is still Alex Kemotubo, and
Ifeoma Ogwoke.
Yeah. Please, for those that are not aware, we don't know where you are watching us from. If you are watching us on TV, that's on the free-to-air decoder. Thank you very much. We are also on Facebook at WAFFI TV, YouTube at WAFFI TV, and you can follow us on our Instagram account, all at WAFFI TV. Please share this video. If you are watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, do well to share this video. And feel free to advertise your goods and services with WAFFI TV. And if you want to be part of what we do here in WAFFI TV, please do call the phone number you see on your screen. I remain RX Akemoto.